What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Wholeheartedly with Kendall and
Galey.
And we are talking some wild shit today. First off, if I have bad internet and I'm a little bit in and out, you guys, I'm figuring out there is a storm in DC. It literally was snow flurrying this morning. What in the actual F? However, we are making it work. I purchased Starlink. However people feel about Elon Musk, I get it. But the dude's got really crispy internet, and it's time that we up the audio quality. So y'all, I have invested, and I will let you know how it goes next week. But we have to talk about that, actually, because I was on live with a skipping internet last night on Instagram, and I'm cooking, and I'm talking to everybody, and they're like, is Galey okay? Is Galey okay? And here, in my mind, I'm thinking, are they talking about the breakup? Are they talking about Charlie? Are they talking about how did the rug launch go? Like, girl, you've had so much going on. And then they're like, Galey's in the hospital is what somebody puts on the comments. And I'm like, what the actual fuck? I go and I text you. I'm like, what is going on? I'm on live. Are you okay? Are you alive? What's happening? And then I go back on live and people are giving me the play-by-play. So out of the mouth of the woman it happened to, how the hell did you end up in the ER last night?
You know, I did it for the pot. You know, I'm just sacrificing my relationships, my life, my body, apparently, just so that I have great pod stories. I literally woke up yesterday and I was like, I don't know what our opening story is going to be because nothing's happened between now and Monday because we just recorded the last episode. And it's almost like I willed this into existence. So here's what had happened.
Who woman-fested it? And I don't like this. I don't like this.
I totally woman-fested this. So here's what had happened. I have a little Dennis the Menace, 14-pound Dennis the Menace running around my house, unhinged, unabridged. Her name is Bear, and she likes to eat everything that she shouldn't. So she was eating the electrical cord to my scent machine, which ironically, Kendall, the whole reason I got this scent machine is because when I went and met you down in Miami at the one hotel, and we were hanging out in the lobby, and we were both like, man, it smells so good in here. And I was like, I need this scent. And so I went and looked it up, and I found the one hotel scent, and I got it for my scent machine, and I installed it, and it smells amazing. Sometimes it gives you a headache if it's a little too much, but it works here and there, especially if like you have an accident with the dog, and then you just plug it in for a couple hours. So anyways, I have this in the wall, and she kept ripping the cord out. And I was like, you are going to either try and swallow this, you're going to choke on it, you're going to chew through the cord. This is not healthy. So I went and despondently just threw it in my garage. Like I dropped it on the floor at the bottom of 3 steps. This comes into play later. So the plug is one of those plugs. It's not that normal, like rubbery one that, you know, will always sit flat on the ground. It's like a box with 2 prongs coming out of it that you stick the box into the wall. For that reason, I guess when I laid it on the floor in the garage, the box was upside down, which means the prongs were sticking straight up.
Oh no.
And you know how at garages, they have sensor lights. So the lights stay off, and then as soon as you open the door, the lights pop on, and then you can see everything. Well, I was in a really big hurry last night trying to get something for my wallpaper launch out of the garage. And I'm like on a Zoom call, and I'm like, wait, hold on, I have the sample. Let me run and get it. So I'm hurriedly running there. I open the door so quickly because I am so fast from all of my training that the garage sensor doesn't even know I'm there. I am like speed racer. And I jump off of the top stair onto the ground, which is 3 steps below. And I land straight on top of the 2 prongs. I literally had to unplug myself, Kendall. I had to look at my foot conveniently right then. When I looked down, the sensor light turned on, and I had a moment of like, that's kind of funny. But like right now, when I go to see my injury, now the sensor light turns on so I can see what happened. And I look down, and I have to unplug the scent machine from the bottom of my foot. And it looks like a vampire bite. Actually, let me show you. Hold on.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh my God.
You see how it's bruising now?
Yes, I do.
It went an inch deep. I mean, I was fully plugged. Like, I'm going to smell like one hotel scent forever. It's now in my blood. And so I am very proud to say, Dad, I did not cry. Your eldest daughter is still super strong and super tough and still has a very high pain tolerance. I unplugged myself like a champ. The scream that I screamed was very loud, but I didn't curse. I didn't cry. I just unplugged myself. And then I went and got my phone so I could do a story about it. Now, I then called my dad to tell him, because I'm so excited to tell him what happened and that I was like super tough through it. And all Dr. Dad wants to focus on is, when was your last tetanus shot? Yeah. And also, I am dealing with rusty tools and nails all day long. And I am definitely not up to speed on my tetanus shot. It lasts about 10 years. And I definitely didn't have my last one 10 years ago. It was probably like 20 years ago. So I realized like I probably am due for this. So I had to try and barricade bear, which was unsuccessful. I realized when I got home, and go to the ER and get my shot, which, by the way, I can't lift my left arm higher than my shoulder.
It's so sore.
Because it is so sore from the tetanus shot. However, I did run 8 miles this morning. And the reason I was able to run is because I have insanely high arches, and my vampire electrical bite is right at the top of my arch. So when I run, my foot, like, it doesn't actually hit.
Take a dang walk. Like, no.
Girl, I have so much anxiety and stress every day. If I don't have an outlet, well, I guess I had an outlet in my foot. Sorry, I don't have an outlet. I think somebody up above is telling me like I need to unplug and chill the F out. Like, physically, I had to unplug myself.
Jesus fix it. Jesus fix it. You're getting a sign from the divine.
Take the wheel, take the machine.
No, oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm over in this chair cringing my life away because we talked about this, right? And this is really ironic. Last night, Alex and I were walking into the house in DC, and there was a rat, a mother freaking rat that scurried out. And I was like, oh God. And I just had the chills for a while, right? And we talked about how much I hate mice and rats and vermin of that nature. Then the other thing that bothers me is like foot injuries and toe injuries.
Oh yeah, because your foot thing.
Yes. It's like there's like forced, maybe my message from above is like, hi, just learn to deal with the discomfort because it's not going away anytime soon and you just need to be resilient. Girl, I cannot believe you literally stepped on a freaking plug.
I didn't step. I jumped 4 feet in the air and landed directly on top of a plug on a square box.
Okay, you Simone Biles vaulted and landed on a freaking plug. Like, you Yurchenko'd your way into a foot injury. Like, what in the frick? Galey.
I kind of feel like I was just like, I'm just sent to be your best friend so that I could put like the bottom of my foot right in front of you on this Zoom to like really desensitize you to like feet in those things. So I think that might be like God's trying to tell me I need to unplug and calm the hell down. And then also trying to tell you need to get comfortable with the bottoms of feet and that things are going to happen that are messy.
Now, honest, the first thing, I'm literally going to send you some Lululemon slides. The way that I cannot be productive, I'm literally holding up a chancla right now, guys. Like, if you can see this, it's me.
You look like you're about to throw it. Like, you look like you're ready to just
still win, but I want to. It's not so funny. It's like such a natural, like, I just want to chuck it at something. But the way that I swear by slides, if I am barefoot in the house, I can't focus. Like, that's my calm down time was if I'm barefoot, because we know we've overcome these things with OCD. I live in these. I am sending you a pair. You are not to do shit for shit in your house until you put these slides on your feet and you're protected.
If I had that on, I would not have this injury. But I would also, Kendall, I would also not have this story.
I know, but we don't need to sacrifice ourselves to this level. Like, you have a flesh wound.
It is a very real flesh wound. Or it kind of looks like I got bit by like a really hot vampire. Like he just like he's a toe guy.
With a foot fetish?
He went in hard. He was like, I'm doing better than the toe. I'm doing the high arch. I got that runner's high arch, you know? Yeah.
Wait. Okay, just intrusive thought. Would you be okay with someone who has a foot fetish?
I'm kind of an equal opportunist in that sense. Like, I don't know that I'm not into it, and I think I would be very uncomfortable, and I would also always feel like I need to have my toes done, and like ain't nobody got time. But Like that is a better fetish for me than like other stuff I don't want to do. If like they were really into it and it made them happy, then great, because my toes are always like, I like how there's a lot of things about me I struggle with and I don't always like how they look. I will say my toes, I've got toe confidence for sure. So I'd be like, oh, you like those? Yeah, you like them even more. Look at them now. Like, I'd get into it just for them. Like, I'm a pleaser, Kendall. We've already been over this. I know that's our point. I'm a fawner. I fawn. Like, if I want to make you happy, like, I will find a way to please you.
Oh my God. I mean, bless. I would literally, if someone wanted to suck my toes, this happened to one of my girlfriends. We were talking about like she had a date or whatever. And this guy was like, listen, can I see your feet? And she was like, that's a little weird. Like, why do you want to see my feet? And he goes, and then he's like kind of confessed. This was like third date or something. He's like, I just really love toes. Like, I just find them so sexy. And I'm like, girl. And she goes, well, he asked like if I would be open-minded to someone sucking my toes. And I was like, this is insane. I'm sorry. Also, this was New York City. Like, absolutely freaking not. Get away. That is weird.
I love a great deal as much as the next girl, but I'm not going to crawl through a bed of hot coals or burn my butt just to save a few bucks. Okay, it has to be easy. No hoops, no BS. So when Mint Mobile said it was easy to get wireless for $15 a month with the purchase of a 3-month plan, I called them on it. Turns out it is really easy. To get started, go to mintmobile.com/wholeheartedly. There you'll see that right now, all 3-month plans are only $15 a month, including the unlimited plan. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. Maybe get rid of a few, purging is good. Find out how easy it is to switch to Mint Mobile and get 3 months of premium wireless service for $15 a month. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/wholeheartedly. That's mintmobile.com/wholeheartedly. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/wholeheartedly. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
Wholeheartedly is brought to you by my favorite, Progressive Insurance. Most of you listening right now are probably multitasking. I don't know about you, but I know every time I'm listening to a podcast, I'm doing dishes, I'm cleaning, I'm recaulking a floorboard, I'm dancing with my dogs, I'm doing something. But if you're not in some kind of moving vehicle, there's something else you can be doing right now too. That is getting an auto quote from Progressive Insurance. It's easy and you could save money by doing it right from your phone. Drivers who save by switching to Progressive save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. These are discounts for having multiple vehicles on your policy, being a homeowner, and so much more. So just like your favorite podcast, I mean, I'm a little biased, but Progressive will be with you 24/7, 365 days a year, so you are protected no matter what. Multitask right now. Quote your car insurance at progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates national average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations. That is so weird, but I can top this, and you're about to lose your mind. I just realized I have put this story in the vault. Like, I don't even know if I told anybody this because I was so uncomfortable, major uncomfy by what happened.
Yeah.
So years ago, when I was on the dating apps, I went on a Hinge date with a doctor from Tampa, and we matched, and he was like, "Hey, he was on the Fort Lauderdale Hinge app because he was coming here for like a conference. I think he was like a ER doctor, so general surgery, which is mostly like stomach area stuff, which I only know because that's what my little sister is in her residency right now. So she's doing a lot of stomach stuff and doesn't love it. So it comes into play though, that's the area. So he comes into my area And he's here for like a week doing his stuff. He's like staying at a nice hotel or whatever. And he's really attractive, really well-spoken, really interesting. He's literally saving lives. I love that he's in the service industry. And he comes over to my house for like maybe the third or fourth date. And we're watching a movie, as you do. And we're Netflix and chilling without all of the chilling. And we start kissing. And he like lifts up my shirt just like above my rib cage.
Okay.
And he starts taking his fingers and trying to cup them underneath my rib. And he's going up under my rib, and then he's like tracing, yes. And then he's like tracing like each individual rib cage. And he goes, you have the most beautiful rib cage. And I was like, and all of a sudden I realized, like, wait a second, I am alone in my house with this guy, and he's obsessing over my rib cage, and he kept trying to like scoop it out, like it was turning him on. And Kendall, the way I felt like I was about to be dissected, I remember exactly, like, I'm looking at where I was laying, actually over across the room. I was laying down on the couch watching a movie. I remember exactly where he was, and I just thought, I need to get out of this situation immediately. Eject, yeet me, evacuate, like, get me out of here. And then I was like, and then I started thinking, and I was like, wait a second, he's a doctor and he's in general surgery, which is like the stomach area. So like he's making a living by digging into people, opening them up, and like looking around in there. So maybe like he's really into that. And maybe he's going to be like the next Netflix psycho killer who like did this to his patients or something. I don't know. And I was freaking out. And so I just said something like, oh my gosh, like, I really don't feel good. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't feel good. I think I need to like go sit in the bathroom or something. And I like grabbed my phone and I went in the bathroom and I started texting all the people that live near me. And I was like, I need you to just start calling me and tell me there's an emergency I have to go to. And I didn't even tell them why. I was like, just call me immediately and tell me there's a really big emergency. I need to go right away. And so I get out of the bathroom and I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling better. Like, I don't know, maybe I just ate something. And then all of a sudden my phone was just going off and I was like, oh my gosh, something happened. I have to go. And so I just like left him and made him get your house. And I pretended to leave, like I was getting ready to leave, and he took his Uber or whatever. And I was just like, oh my God.
Girl, okay. Holy shit.
I have so many stories that like it makes sense. I'm glad we have a podcast because now they like didn't happen for nothing. I can share them. And like, guys, just be careful if you're Netflix and chilling. I don't care what type of profession the person has.
Okay, here's what I will say. Profession blindness, or like, we're not projecting for anything, okay? I don't care if he like saves orphans in I don't know, like Estonia. I think that's wonderful. But I'm sorry, it doesn't mean you're not freaking nuts. It doesn't mean you're not crazy. Like, there are so many people out there, we've talked about this on our narcissist episode, who use those things to cover their creepy behaviors and sins. And I'll tell you, I love true crime like anyone else. Like, I'm absolutely obsessed with it. And it's always the serial killers, the ones that do the really weird things, like that are really precise. They're really good with a scalpel. They do really strange stuff to the bodies. It's always like the morally upstanding, like, I would have never thought, oh my gosh, he was my neighbor. He would come over and play with my kids at Christmas. Like, the way that, I hate to say this, but watching so many true crime shows and now podcasts and books, probably kind of a screwed up obsession, I don't trust anyone. If anything, if you are like a super upstanding, wonderful person, my sniffer is up like, wait a second, what's wrong? There's something wrong here. Let me find something. And then when I find something that makes them human, I'm like, okay, cool. You're all right. But if you can't find it, if you can't find something, even in like 3 dates or like a weird quirk or like okay, it's self-deprecating or kind of, I don't trust it. Girl, you literally could have had a serial killer in your home.
I might have. Like, he might be on the loose still. He's at large somewhere in Tampa.
Do we need to go check? Like, part of me wants to Google, like, are there like any weird serial killers in the Tampa Bay area? Like, probably.
This just became an FBI podcast. Did you ever see the one with the couple that got tied up and then he came in and just took the woman? They were dating. They weren't married yet. He took the one, it was like number one on Netflix for a long time, like a year ago. I don't remember the name of it, but
American Nightmare.
Yes, American Nightmare. Denise. Okay. So my girl Denise, who is such a badass. If you haven't seen American Nightmare, that's what it's called. American Horse. Wait.
No, American Nightmare. American Horror Story is Ryan Murphy's Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian. Yeah, got it. Okay. Crispy R's. It's okay. We have inside jokes that we don't even get. Okay. So she was kidnapped and taken, and it was this whole thing. They couldn't figure out who did it. The guy that did this to her and was planning on doing it to multiple people and had several attempts after her, he was a Harvard graduate.
I'm telling, it's the smart ones. It's the high individual. Well, and think about it too. Like if you really consider it, to be a criminal in today's world with cameras, with social media, with IP addresses, it's so easy to find anything on anybody. Ask CIA Susie, ask myself. You can Google it for the most part. So if you're a serial killer and you can get away with it in today's world, you're brilliant. You're super smart. And that's what's kind of like the scary part of it all is like, damn, you can't bet that they're going to be stupid or dumb or make a mistake. These people are methodical and they think through the whole process. So yeah, don't trust. I'm not saying, end up with a dumb one, but like smart, but flawed. We want flaws. We want flaws. We want humanity. We want a little, a little stink, a little fluff, a little, I don't know. We can't trust the perfect. I think I just said stink. Did I literally just say stink? Maybe not stink. Stank? Funk?
We do not want even a little stink, guys. So if you're thinking about bringing stink to our date, leave it at the door. We don't want it.
Let me rephrase it. We want funk. We want like a little zhuzh of extraness. A little.
I don't even want funk either.
Okay, girl, let me find the damn word. I don't know. I just like, we need a jagged edge. A little bit of a jagged edge.
No, I think the word we're looking for is peccadillo.
Oh, you're not even Texan. Isn't that a Texan thing? No, armadillos.
I was like, if she is about to say armadillo from peccadillo, I'm going to lose it. And then you're like, you're not even Texan. I was like, I knew it. I knew it was coming. You hit me with the armadillo.
Oh, yeah. It's just a little peccadillo. A little peccadillo. No. Come on your pillow.
Peccadillo is not an animal. Peccadillo is not an animal with like a shell cage. Okay. A peccadillo is something that you do that is quirky or different. And it's like your own little, I don't know, like colloquial thing that makes you you. So for example, like a quirk. So your peccadillo might be that you just like do not like walking without anything on the bottom of your feet. Like you have to have something under your feet. Mine is that I cannot, like everything needs to be clean. It's just like, it's me. It's just like my little thing. Well, it's actually a really big thing and it destroys my life. My butt. Yeah. Yeah. I'd almost rather have an armadillo than a peccadillo at this point. But yeah, so I think that we're looking for people with like peccadillos, like little quirks and things that make them unique and that are custom to them and their personality and their mannerisms, but not really like smelly or funky.
Yeah, they're not like full red flags. They're beige flags. They're like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I could probably tolerate that for the rest of my life, hopefully,
Yeah, so like this is why, earlier we talked about why I wasn't going to go on dating apps. And between like somebody on a dating app trying to literally rape my rib cage with his hand. And then yeah, the guy that broke the toilet upstairs and it flooded the whole upstairs guest bedroom.
Daily.
That was also a Hinge date. Sorry, Hinge. But like,
here's what I'm going to say. When I moved to Florida, like the way that this is becoming such like a thing that I say, just because we're at a distance right now, we're going to have to do like a dating weekend where we're going to set up all of here's what's going to happen. Ready? You're going to set up all of your dates in the matter of a weekend. Alex and I, in public places, no one's allowed to come to, like, it is an honor to be in Space Galey. You have your new home, which we are going to get you to sleep in your own bed. And so this new home, no one's allowed in until they pass the test. And by test, I mean you got me and you got Alex, both of whom are very discerning. So what I think we should do is you should be on a dating app. collectively accrue all of these men into like almost like speed dating, right? Like, okay, you have a breakfast with somebody, you have a lunch with somebody, you have a dinner with somebody, and Alex and I will just FBI in the background, just watching what is going down, taking notes, okay? And then we can cut it down. We should make it like a reality show. And then you can select out of the final 2 that we pick from all those that you also liked. And then we will allow a date and we will start for a double date.
I fully approve this message, except the part about the dating app, because I do not have time and I just don't want to be that public facing in the dating world. So what we could do is, if any of you listening know somebody or have a cute brother who is in the South Florida area and you feel like we would be a good fit, just slide into our Wholeheartedly Instagram pod DMs and we will send I don't know, maybe send us their handle, and Kendall and Alex can go do a little due diligence and see if they approve. And if they do, then we'll see if I approve, because I feel like they have a better and more discerning picker than I do. So like they're front line.
Or you approve and then we approve. And then we have final right of refusal. I'll be like, no, he's nuts. I was like, no to puppies.
Okay, that makes sense. Either way, send them in, because, you know, the pilot flight attendant didn't work out. And yeah, I'm just like in my garage jumping on plugs. So I really need you guys to help me out here. Get me out of this house.
You need to be jumping on a different plug.
Stop it. I knew it. I knew you were going.
Sorry, I had to. It was right.
As soon as I said it, I was like, I know she's going to tool this.
It was right there. It was right there. And you know, it kind of funny thing about plugs, right? And terrible. I remember my mom was so funny. I was trying to set up the Christmas lights. I don't know why I all of a sudden got this like flash of the story. It was when we lived in Atlanta. So a long time ago. I was maybe like 9 or 10. And we had a stairwell at the front of the house and stairwell at the back of the house that overlooked the family room. So we were wrapping, because my family can't do, sadly, real garland, because my brother his nose would like go up and he was allergic to all the pine needles and stuff. So we've never had real Christmas trees. We've always had fake Christmas trees and fake garland and all that. So we were wrapping the stairwell with the lights, the particular way that my mom likes to do it, all the way up the stairwell. And I was trying to figure out, I was like, oh, Mom, what do I do? I have 2 of the wrong ends. And she looks at me, she's like, is it male or female? And I looked at her and I was like, huh? Because plugs, right? You have the one that got you in the foot.
Well, it tracks, because I'm the female. I was the receptacle, and the plug was the male, and it plugged into my receptacle. Yeah, that's so wow. That tracks, like it is,
which didn't have wrong spot, but
saw what the top of that scent machine looked like.
I know, I have that scent machine. It's the hotel collection one, and mine broke twice. Dude, I'm so mad at them because it broke twice and they wouldn't send me a refund. Whatever, that's a whole other tangent. So back to it. So I had 2 female ends, and I was like, I don't know, Mom, how do I tell the difference? And then her eyes went wide and she realized, like, oh my gosh, we're going to get into the sex conversation. Like to try to explain the plug thing. Like I obviously kind of knew that, but we hadn't really talked about it. Maybe I wasn't 9. Maybe I was a little bit younger. But still, and I looked at her and she goes, well, there's something goes into something else. And then she did the hand gestures and I was like, what? And then she was embarrassed. It was like this whole funny, awkward situation trying to describe like where to find the male plug and the female plug. And then I was like, ooh, Mom, that's gross and all this stuff. And
so that Christmas, you got reindeer, Santa, and the birds and the bees.
Yeah, the bees. Yes. I got the full, like, here's how, and it was so funny. So whenever I look at plugs now, I think of the fact that I was like, huh, that's how I learned about the birds and the bees. Was from Outlet.
That is so funny. So my parents are both medical. And so you can imagine how I learned about the birds and the bees is they gave me a book that literally is like this.
Was it a body book?
It was like it was about like pregnancy and getting pregnant. And it was really big. And it showed it was all hand drawn, no real pictures. But I even remember how the book smelled when you like turned the pages. It was so big and heavy and it was so medical. And I just remember like I learned, like I knew what a placenta was. I knew where the uterus was when I was like 7 years old.
Honestly, that's good because you had all the right words. Like there's nothing that bothers me more than when you hear like a 10-year-old that is trying to describe, like, or if they're talking, which I don't know what situation they would be, but like talking in a health class or like, you know how little kids are and they talk about those things amongst each other, but they call it some weird slang term. And I'm like, this is almost making it weirder. You know what I mean? When it's like your boo-boo, like really, like just call it what it is. It's a vagina. Like, let's just.
Speaking of slang, nothing makes me feel older and more like a millennial than when Gen Z is on TikTok coming up with words for things, and I will watch it like a video on repeat trying to understand what this acronym means or what these words mean. And then I'm in the comments and everyone's like, oh, that's so funny. And I'm like, well, I want it to be funny for me too, but I don't know what it means. Like, can somebody please explain it? But I don't want to be the person to write, what does this even mean? Because I feel so old and I'm just reading it. And I'm just like, I feel old. Yeah. So I don't even go in the comments like, can somebody explain this to me?
You just, blissful ignorance is actually helpful with that stuff. I will say Gen Z slang isn't too bad. Gen Alpha, which is like, you know, the digital native kids, like the kids that are like, I think from 1 or 0 technically until maybe 12 or 13, what they say is nuts. Like, okay, here's a couple that I've learned because I have friends who have kids in this age range and I'm just floored.
Educate me.
Anybody listening who has kids that are Gen Alpha babies, you're probably going to laugh when I'm talking about my experience understanding this because you've probably heard this from your kids and you're like, what now? There was a YouTube video. It's the strangest thing. I will send it to you later. It's called Skibbity Toilet. Skibbity. So it's this weird dude's head and he says skibbity, skibbity, and he like pops up out of a toilet and it kind of looks like Minecraft, I think. And it's just taken over. So they call things like skibbity something or skibbity that.
Wait, but what does that mean?
I don't know.
Does it mean your face is coming out of a toilet? Like, what does it mean? Like, you're so skibbity, you just came out of a toilet?
I think it's like an elevator, like skibbity something, like you add it to something to make it more valuable. I don't know. I'm still confused with the skibbity thing. So my usage and etymology is terrible. Then this one's really sad for all my friends who are from Ohio. So that's what they call something if it's lame. Like if something's like, if you're like, oh, you're such a loser or you're lame. Oh, she's so Ohio. I think, how terrible is that? The whole state of Ohio just got put on blast by like Gen Alpha. And then Sigma is, I think, Sigma means it's cool. Like Sigma is like really epic. What's another one? Obviously Riz. Do you know Riz?
Yeah. I know Riz. Riz is also cool, right?
Yeah, Riz is like, oh, okay, they're attractive, they have game. I guess like you'd say like, oh, he's smooth or he has game, he's got Riz. They call like people who have a lot of Riz, the Rizzler. But you're
I can't believe
it's like the Joker, but like the Rizzler.
All I know is I feel for all of these moms and dads who are like picking up their kids from school and their kids are speaking another language and they're like, imagine having to keep up with that and then not even knowing what the new trend is. And it's like they're speaking English, but it's not real English. It's just, you know, it's just some version. But when you think about it, we all did that. We did that with our parents too. Like when we were like, oh, that's so dope, or oh my God, she's bad. And I just think it's so funny that every generation creates their own like slang and their own like subcultured language. It's so weird.
It is really, really interesting. It also happens with, well, two things I want to say. One is that I feel like Gen Z, I feel like I identify more with them, and that like when they talk about edging something and I'm like, oh, I get that. I know what that means. Or they talk about like, oh, she ate that. Like that video was so good. She ate, like left no crumbs. I'm like, yeah, I follow all of this. And then you get into like the Gen Alpha, and I'm like, we're speaking completely different languages. Like I could not even guess what it is that you're alluding to with the letters that came out of your mouth.
Gen Alpha, like Gen Z, their language or their slang is more literal. So it makes sense, right? Like ate, left no crumbs.
It's logical.
It's logical and it's tangible to like real life. I think with Gen Alpha, because they're digital natives, they've grown up with an iPad from the time they were a baby. I think everything that they're talking about is referencing like a game or a video. It's referencing something that you already have to know that core reference. You have to know that core video or that core experience to even understand the slang.
It's like they want it all to be a big inside joke that only their generation knows. That's how it feels.
Well, yeah, but I mean, isn't that what we did too, though? With our parents, like, oh, that's so sick. It's like, oh my God, who's not feeling well? You know, like, I think
You remember my mom saying that once.
although she picked it up real quick, the way that Susie picks up slang, like she'll start saying sick.
Well, she's CIA.
She is. She's
CIA. She's on it. So something that we loved about last week's episode was on the wig when we asked what advice and questions you guys have. You hit us with so many that we felt we had so many great ones. We could keep going again this week. So we didn't want to ask you guys the same question because we already have the answers. So let's get to the wig questions.
Can I just entertain myself for 2 seconds? Remember when we used to do this as kids? Look. That when you would hold your head, guys, you're not seeing this. When you would hold your head and do this, like, I'm wearing a wig.
Do you remember being in the pool and you would flip the front of your hair over and make a George Washington fold?
Yes. Oh my God. Wait, can we do that? Can we go to can I come to Florida because it's warm and nice and beautiful and jump in your pool? And can we do George Washington hair? Like that, the way that would just heal my soul right now, I would love that. That's what I want. I want like a millennial camp weekend where we do all of like the friendship bracelets and we remember the little hemp necklaces with the puka shells and we text each other on our razors. Like, can we do that?
Oh my God. I had a T-Mobile slide.
It
was so cool. I felt so cool with that. Oh my gosh. And then my boyfriend also got one, and he didn't realize that when you text somebody and then you like cut and copy it and send to the next person, it puts them all in the same thread. So I got a good morning, beautiful, I miss you. And I saw that there were 8 other phone numbers on that thread. And I was able to identify that my boyfriend of several years was cheating on me thanks to the sidekick.
Okay. We are going boot camp when I get to Florida. We're fixing your picker. We are putting your picker to.
I know it is so off. It is so off.
It's funny because you're so bad on with everything else. Like your business stage.
I'm so on top. Like I noticed every little thing with Charlie, and like I kept her alive years longer than she should because I was so on top of her heart rate and every little detail. This house, every piece of molding and caulking, and like I don't miss a beat. And like my editing, my transitions, they're so smooth because I'm psychotic about the details. But when it comes to men, it just like, I just want to believe that they're all great and nice and honest and real and genuine and they like me for the right reasons. And it just keeps not working out.
It will work. Just, I figured it out. Your peccadillo is your picker.
You have a peccadillo for a picker. I love a callback, and that was so good. That was so good, Kendall.
Being an adult has its high points. You know, like you can eat ice cream for dinner. You can stay up super late watching some weird conspiracy theory documentary on Netflix or true crime. But, you know, it's really not all fun. We also have to do things like our taxes and figure out what's for dinner every freaking night. But the worst part, and I know a lot of us kind of struggle with this one, myself included, is making doctor's appointments. And for that one, there is something called ZocDoc. It's the healthcare app that makes adulting much easier, which, hey, I will take. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors, choose the right one for your needs, and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty, from mental health to to dental health, eye care to skincare, and much more. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, who are located nearby, who are a good fit for any medical need you may have, and who are highly rated by verified patients. And you can also see their actual appointment openings and choose a time that works for you. You can click instantly and boom, you've booked a visit. Plus, ZocDoc appointments can happen fast, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even book same-day appointments. Come on, y'all. You don't have to call your mama and ask your mama to book your doctor's appointments. I know we've all done it. I might be outing myself here, but it's time to step into adulting and make it a little bit easier with ZocDoc. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/heart and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com, ZocDoc.com/heart, HEART, ZocDoc.com/heart.
Okay, y'all, here's the deal. My most precious resource is my time. The best part about what I'm about to share is that it doesn't just save you time, it saves money. I'm talking about Cook Unity. If you have not been on their website and ordered your 4 to 16 meals per week, you are missing out. I just went on and this week I ordered 8 meals. And the 3 I'm most excited about, I got the creamy jackfruit tikka masala, I got the Middle Eastern veggie wrap, and I got the green zug curry with tofu. It was really awesome to see that when I was going through selecting the meals, I could pick vegan, paleo, pescatarian, gluten-free, and the best part is that this is made and sourced by local chefs. Experience chef-quality meals every week delivered right to your door. Go to cookunity.com/wholeheart or just enter the code WHOLEHEART before checkout for 50% off your first week. That's 50% off your first week by using code WHOLEHEART or going to cookunity.com/wholeheart.
Let's talk about y'all's peccadillo. Let's see what's going on in the wig in everyone's lives.
Okay, so I love this one. Advice on leaving corporate America that is applicable to both of us because good Lord, with a capital G, capital L. My advice about leaving corporate America is, I think the simplest way I can put it is if you are working really hard and you're pouring so much of yourself into the company that you're working for, ultimately you are working for somebody else's dream. Like your name is not on the door. That is not your dream. And if you feel like you have an entrepreneurial spirit and energy and you have an insane work ethic and you are insanely passionate about something, then I think you have the perfect recipe to do something else and work for your own dream.
I could not agree more with that. I definitely feel that sentiment deeply. The other layer I would put onto that too is that, for example, in my case, I worked at a company that was providing that kind of support that I loved giving the world, right? So through teaching at Peloton, I was able to help positively impact people's lives all the time. But it's also very important that even when you're working for a company that is doing the service work that you want to do, then at that point you have to really decide for yourself, or you'll know, do I feel valued in the position of my providing and pouring into their dream? And I think whenever there's dissonance there, or whenever you get to a place where you might be providing something positive, but you don't feel like you're putting your full foot in it or really standing on it, you're only giving a smidge of yourself when you're ready to give, maybe you're giving a hand when you're ready to give your whole body. Like that's kind of when you know too, it's time to move forward. When you feel like there's more to be done and you're leaving a little bit behind, or there's still scraps left, or still more meals to serve, and you can't do that within the space of your corporate environment, and you know that you're capable and possible of doing that on the external, it's time to go. Because that little bit that you're not able to really be your full self or really pour in or really invest into what you want to create in the world, it will creep up and haunt you. Like it will get a little bit suffocating, and you'll feel like you're operating at 60% of your capacity rather than 80 or 90 or even 100.
That's a great point you just made. You have to also realize that your dream might be capable of happening because of your corporate job, right? If your dream is to provide really well for your family and have all of your health insurance covered for your whole family, and not have to stress on weekends because it's a Monday to Friday job or whatever. Whereas if you're an entrepreneur, you're on 7 days a week, so like your corporate job might actually be allowing you to have your dream, which is maybe the family setup that you have and the income that you have. But just make sure that your salary isn't a drug that a company is paying you to forget about your dreams.
Amen. Amen. It's very easy to get kind of lost in the sauce of, I know I have this safety net, this like stable, steady paycheck month after month. And it is a bit addicting. And so you have to just really, what you just said, you have to decide for yourself, what is the ultimate goal? Where are you the most able to express yourself? If it's within the confines of a more corporate environment, and then you also have those passion pieces beyond work, your whole life is not involved in the company, your identity doesn't get completely engrossed in the company, then that's healthy, that's wonderful, enjoy it. That sounds like it's the right fit for you. But if you feel like you're losing your identity to the company that you're a part of, or you're getting lost from the thing that really will help you sing if you were to step outside of it, then I think it's a good time for you to move on. I think it's where you place your identity is also very important too. Never allow your full self to be controlled by any company or any corporation or any paycheck. You're much more than that.
Hearing you say all that, I just want to stop and appreciate something that I never really appreciated about you before, which was that, I identified that we are both women who were in the corporate world, working for really big name companies, doing very well, very successful in our own. And we chose to leave and literally start from nothing with no guaranteed income, no guaranteed paycheck, having to cover our own health insurance and just figuring it out, which is really, really scary. But I'm appreciating in this conversation that what you did is even harder, I think, because in my situation, I was at a big corporation and, I was making wealthy people wealthier and giving great investment advice, but I didn't really feel like I was changing lives or doing anything super meaningful. Whereas you at Peloton, you were actually doing your passion. You were helping people, you were coaching, you were motivating, you were inspiring, you were getting your workouts in every day, you were taking care of your body. And like, you're so amazing in front of the camera, you just light up. So you were doing all of the things that you are passionate about. And yet you still had the strength and kind of bravery to leave and say, I want to do all this because I love all of this. I just want to do it for myself. And like, that's really the biggest and only change. And it's so hard because you had it all right there on a silver platter that you worked for, you earned, you got it. And you're still choosing to get all of that again, but through yourself, which is just 10 times, I think, more incredible and impressive. And I don't know if I would have had that kind of belief in myself and guts to do that, because I left to do something totally different that I am more passionate about, that I feel like is more additive to people and gives my life more purpose than what I was doing. But you're kind of doing the same thing in what you're building. So I just have like a new level of respect thinking about it that way.
Well, thank you for that. I think you're nailing something on the head, and something that honestly yesterday I had a really tough mental health day yesterday because of this. Until the thing that I'm building has launched and until it can be consumed and people get it, and it's now I get why she left. Now I understand it. I'm standing in this years period from the time that I left until when this thing is allowed to launch. I'm standing in this really uncomfortable in between, because a lot of people, and I have a lot of, I'm working through it, but I have a lot of guilt sometimes that like I left this community of people who was really accustomed to my being their coach and my being in their corner and my being there weekly through all the highs and lows. And, I'll go on Instagram Live and I'll go and, the second I meet people on the street and they're like, oh my God, we miss you so much. Like, that's literally the first thing everybody tells me. And I'm so humbled and grateful to hear it, but it's hard because it's like, oh God, I left you. I'm gonna get emotional. Fuck. And it's been hard. It's been tough because I don't ever want, oh my God, I was on so I can cry today. Woo. But I don't want people to feel abandoned by my choice to move forward for my career and to do what I know I'm capable of doing and how I can help people without my hands tied and a muzzle on my mouth. And like, that's why I'm building this. Like, I'm building this to really lean in and really pour into people and really focus on community and not have to do it. Not that there's anything wrong with how Peloton does it, but it's a corporate company and their interests are different. Like, they have to respond to stockholders and shareholders. I get it. I totally get it. But I don't want stockholders and shareholders. Like, I don't want to have to answer to anybody other than the people I'm trying to pour into and trying to help and trying to support. And that's really where this comes from. And I think it's been hard because right now I have to be okay with being misunderstood by some people who feel abandoned and by people, damn it, it's tough. By people I care about, and do the hard thing so that it can end up being the right thing in the long run. And right now I kind of have to just take it on the chin that not everybody's going to get it. And some people are upset and some people feel left. And I know that's not what this is. And I'm working really hard to build what's next. I'm very excited for it. But it's just being misunderstood for a little bit. And I think it pulls back, like, it's been a lot of personal growth because it pulls back to being like in middle school and high school and feeling like the weird kid and feeling like, yeah, sure, I can pretend to put the mask on, but no one knows really what's going on underneath. And this entire experience, I have a mask on because I can't fully talk about what I'm building yet because of contracts and things, and having to play that mask a little bit longer. And that's tough. I don't like not being completely vulnerable and completely truthful because the community that I've been a part of has been so wonderful to allow me to be so transparent and to accept me exactly as that. And I want to, and they deserve to hear exactly that. So I cannot wait in many ways for the next 6 months to be over. There's so much work to do, so much fucking work, and you know it. But yeah, it's funny how callback, dealing with the discomfort, like seeing the rat last night, your damn foot, all the things that I don't like right now. Oh my God, put that damn thing away. They're cute toes, I'm not going to lie, but still. Like, it's kind of exposure therapy again. Like, okay, like I need to just deal with the in-between and the purgatory of uncomfortable right now because of what's to come. And there's something that I need to do to be in this discomfort that's going to help me grow for whatever's coming next. And I do believe that. So long-winded way of saying it's difficult, guys. Like, any choice you make for your life, especially when you step out in your own belief and in your own faith and betting on yourself, it's not going to be easy. Like, it's not this beautiful entrepreneur journey that we get to see on Shark Tank. And look, we made it. Like, there's a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of tough days. But then again, so is life. So you just kind of have to pick which path you know is the most honest to yourself and give yourself grace when it's tough, because it's going to be.
When you make big moves like you're making, people will call you crazy and they will misunderstand and they will not get it. And then when it works, you are an effing genius. And like, I am so proud of you for being so real and raw. When we spoke yesterday, totally unrelated to the pod, but we were just talking, catching up. And I was like, she is in it. Like, she is going through it. I could just tell, like, the anxiety in your voice. We were trying to work through something, and I would just like wanted to give you a hug because I could just feel that you have so many emotions and so many things happening, and it's almost too much for one heart and one brain, but yet you're managing it like a boss and you're just pushing through it, and you're allowing yourself to be okay with being misunderstood and people questioning your decisions and your moves. Because I think, bigger picture, I feel like you are going to come back like the greatest phoenix rising out of this. And you are going to not even have to explain yourself, because it's going to be an aha moment to everybody that has been questioning and not agreeing with and calling you out and all the things that they don't know because you're building it all in the back end. They're going to come back and just be like, damn, I get it. Like, never knocked out. She is never knocked out. And it's going to be such a glorious moment. And I am going to be literally like screaming excited for you as I just get to watch it all grow. And yeah, I love you and I'm so proud of you. And I think that it takes a very strong person to have such a public persona and be okay with being misunderstood for a while. The level of confidence and self-assuredness that takes is beyond. So I'm proud of you.
You're going to make me cry again. Thank you. You know how much that means, especially from somebody who you get it and you know it and you've done it and you're doing it. And it just, I do believe it in my core being. My head likes to freak me out. My soul knows like that will be what will come and what will happen. And yeah, it just, thank you. I don't know what else to say other than that. It means a lot.
My soul feels it for you too, girl. Like it is happening. This is not a like maybe, this is not an if, it's a when. Yeah. So I'm just excited for the when. Okay, last question. Oh, I think this is a good one. How to stay motivated in this damn cold ass fucking winter. Sorry, Mom, I said the F word.
Sorry, Galey's mom. I cuss a lot.
Like I was reading it for somebody else. So like, please still allow me to Thanksgiving dinner. Thank you. Okay. So something that really helps me is whenever I don't feel motivated to get up and go for a run or find an excuse. Like today, I could have used the excuse of, my foot being in the ER last night and I still went for a run this morning. And like what I was thinking about, because it really motivates me, is that today is the last day I will ever get to be today years young.
I love that.
And I also know that I feel like so many people go back and they're like, man, if I could have talked to my younger self, I would have told her to like appreciate your skin and wear more sunscreen and all these things. And I'm like, no, she's already lived. Like, you don't need to talk to 10-year-old you. Talk to 85-year-old you. Talk to 92-year-old you. And you know what she's going to say? Girl, you look so good. Your body moves so well. You are so strong. You don't have any real issues right now. You better get your ass out there and run, because I haven't been able to run in 15 years since that knee injury or my asthma or whatever. Like, you don't know what 82-year-old's going to say, but you damn sure know she's going to say, get out and move your body, because I can't anymore, not in that same way. And I would give anything to have your worst day this year.
Yeah, that's so spot on. It's always the reframe. Like I was actually on the phone with my brother just before the pod today, and we were talking kind of about this exact thing. And just this time of year is so hard, especially if you've got a spicy brain or anxiety or depression, or you just get the seasonal kind of depression because it's bullshit that it gets dark so early. Like,
so painful.
And I think what's important is to understand that like your habits are going to shift and change. We're seasonal beings too, right? Like we have a personal fall, we have a personal winter where not always does everything have to be in bloom all the time. LOL, giving myself my own advice as I say this. So with that, it's accepting that energy levels are going to change, motivation levels are going to change. So it's finding the way to move that serves the season that you're in. Like I was so, as you know, after we got off the phone yesterday, Alex and I went to the gym and I was like, I need my gloves. I need to hit a bag. I have not unleashed on a heavy bag. Honestly, I haven't trained with like a coach or on mitts probably in like 8 months because of all the craziness. And when I tell you, literally, my knuckles are bruised because my calluses are gone from not hitting as much as I usually do. And I went off and I did my normal training. I did my rounds. I went back into it. And it was what my angst and my anxiety needed. The other day when I had really bad menstrual cramps, it was doing some really nice yoga flows. I went to the gym. I just used that damn hyper ice. I just drilled it into my hips for a good 5 minutes. And I was like, amen, that's my work today. That and a low intensity walk with a little bit of incline, watching Great British Bake Off. Like that's what's going to happen. Which, by the way, that is such a freaking vibe. Netflix and walk.
That is you are such the girl at the gym on the incline in the cute Lululemon outfit, watching the Great British Bake Off. And you're just like, you're just walking for your life, like so hard, but you're also watching bacon.
Oh yeah. Like that woman that does like the prancer size videos, that will be me at 90. Like just like prancing through with the little ankle waves, just like, oh yeah, oh, this is good. So it just depends on who you are that day. And you're allowed to have kind of that difference. But the most important thing is to find some form of movement, whether it be at bare minimum 5 minutes, at absolute maximum what you have available to give, but just even experiencing your body, like taking up space. Like be a dude.
Yes.
Thank God this is not lower, but spread your legs in the chair. Like literally spread eagle a little bit. Let the hips breathe. Open up the back. Crack the neck, twist, just allowing your body to just expand. I think so much too is like we forget when we're going through these seasons where we're cold, right? We shiver and our body gets really tight into a ball and everything compresses and everything contracts. What's really helpful is to move through the joints and to expand and dance around. I mean, at bare minimum, dance around the house. Play some, Glorilla. Oh my gosh. There's this great song, quick side note, next time you lift or go for a run, this rapper who I love, X the Plug, I think he's from Texas.
You just say the plug. Are you messing with me?
X the Plug? Oh my God, call back. Yes.
I am X in the plug. Like they're never allowed on my floors ever again. Totally SC fuck.
Oh my God, it is. Oh my God. I didn't even put two together.
Damn. Okay, full circle. X the Plug. The song is called The Largest. And he kind of sounds like Biggie Smalls. He's got this like gorgeous, deep, he's so
Oh, I love it.
Texas too. It's just meant to be. Okay. So you have to listen to X the Plug, The Largest. Go and lift or go on your run. You will run like the swaggiest, most badass, like, hell yeah, I'm the biggest, I'm the largest. If the motivation's not there to do what you normally do, find the new movement pattern. There's so many ways to move. Just move something.
I'm so with you on that. I have a dance off with my dogs easily once a day. At some point in the day, because I always play music throughout the day, at some point we are dancing. Either we're excited about mealtime and I pick Bear up in the air and she's in air jail and I'm just running around with her and Patch is like getting so excited running through my legs, and then I take Bear out of air jail and then I pick Patch up. Now she's in it and we're just like dancing. And this morning after my run, I was throwing the ball with them in the backyard and then I realized like my lower back is aching. So I took their hard like rubber ball and I just started like laying on it, rolling it under my back. And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so present right now. And it was because I was connecting physically with my body and really feeling out the muscles in my back. And then I remembered like, I think it's so helpful to do grounding. What would they be called? Like grounding sessions with yourself where you just lay on the ground and you just feel everything that's touching your fingertips and the weight in your back. And then you move it to your feet and then you push your heels in and you ground yourself. There's something so helpful about that. So to answer your question, how to stay motivated in this damn cold ass, say the word, fucking winter. And the answer to that question is to talk with 82-year-old self, do things like Kendall said with movement, play some Godzilla. I know that's not what you said, but you know what I'm, and X the Plug. And just go, like, just dance with your dogs, dance with yourself, lay in the grass, lay on your wood floor, whatever you need to do, just ground yourself because it really helps with seasonal depression because that is so real. Who is stealing our light? Why are we saving it? I don't know.
All right. So I think we're probably pretty well wrapping up. What do you think the name of this episode should be?
Electric Love by BR.
Yeah, because you got the electrical plug up your foot. Oh my God.
I just feel like electric love, like baby. Like that was deep.
I love that. I was thinking two things were in my head. One was walking on broken glass.
Oh, that's a good one too. I listened to that before. It's on my ways.
I think walking on broken glass because it's kind of a testament to like, that's kind of how I feel right now going through this transition period. Like we just got to keep walking and moving forward, even if we're uncomfortable. I think we're dealing with it with the change of seasons and seasonal depression and also getting impaled in our feet, which is the Galey story of the week. So put it away. Put that foot. Also, I'm impressed with your mobility though. Like, wow.
Girl, I can put my foot behind my head. Don't
you have that to your dating profile?
No. That's giving them the wrong reason. Anyway, so we're going to wrap this up. Lightning in a bottle. What we're working on this week, I am working on, actually, I'm going to take our own advice. I want to start doing something grounding and like laying on the ground and just feeling my body every single day at some point. Because I already dance with my dog, so I don't need to add that. So that's what I'm working on.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, let me know. I have some good somatic grounding techniques if you ever need anything. Let's see. What am I working on? I am working on allowing myself to feel the discomfort, and like not trying to force it into something else or trying to fight it. We know this from a couple weeks episode ago. I have a fight response. So rather than fighting my discomfort, I'm just going to learn to create space for it to exist there and just be honest about it. Be like, today's an uncomfortable day. Today I'm feeling discomforted. Today I'm feeling a little fearful and a little doubtful. And we're just going to know that that's going to pass too, and just keep moving forward and keep the energy headed in the proper direction.
I love that. And whenever you're in that space, if you need a hype girl, just text me, call me, DM me. Like, I'm here. I will totally hype you up because you're going all the way. And I'm so proud of you. Okay. So if you guys want to see where Kendall is already going all the way, you can follow her. What's the new website?
Yeah, it's all NKO Club. So we have the trucker hats that are on sale there. We're going to be launching something very new for holiday, which is exciting. Something a little fun, happy. I will be announcing it, I believe, today. So go check NKO Club for the news, and it will be launching in January. So get ready for that, y'all. Can't wait to see you over there. And Galey, I'm waiting for my pillow to come in because I'm going to put it behind me. There's a pillow named after me, you guys. I'm so excited.
Yeah, the Tool pillow. I have a lot of pillows coming out. And yeah, the rugs they're all up on Wayfair and Amazon. Just search Galey Alex X Livabliss, LIVABLISS. And it's all linked in my saved highlights. So you can just go to my Instagram at Galey Alex. And yeah, I have some big announcements coming with wallpaper soon. So I'm very excited. And you can follow Kendall at Kendall Tool on Instagram, on TikTok. And what's the actual website for NKO Club? Spell it out.
Just NKO Club. NKO, the letters, and then
club.net.com.
We got the OG.
Okay. NKOclub.com. That's badass. Okay. Very cool. So we have lots of things if you guys want to continue, and we will be announcing some exciting things that we're doing different for the pod too. So stay tuned. We love you guys with our whole ADHD, CDO, OCD, plugged in feet, hearts so much. We love you.
We love you guys. We will see you next week. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you want more of, what you want less of, and we will see you next time.